All right, welcome back to another podcast episode, guys, and we are going to be talking about today the Georgia Bulldogs, who are in big trouble. For number one, they have to play Tennessee this Saturday. And the reason why I'm concerned about this game is because Tennessee is 8-1. Georgia is 7-2. How did they get here? Let's take a look, shall we? First of all, on September 28th, almost a month ago, over a month ago, Georgia lost to Alabama. And then on Saturday, they lost again to Ole Miss. And now they go into Tennessee. College game day is going to be there. And Tennessee is 8-1. And that's huge. And there's multiple scenarios for the SEC title race. Yes, there's a bunch of different scenarios. For example, Tennessee versus Texas, Alabama versus Texas, Georgia versus Texas A&M. That can still happen. But what can't happen, though, is if Georgia loses to Tennessee. Because if Georgia loses to Tennessee, Georgia's out. No playoffs, no SEC title. And if Tennessee wins out, that includes beating Georgia, then they will get an in because they have the tiebreaker against Alabama and Ole Miss. But let's say this, Texas A&M wins out, they lose to Texas, though. Texas A&M's out because they lost to South Carolina. And this is one cool thing I love about this conference. It's an open house race. And there's like 6 or 7 teams. Tennessee, Georgia, Ole Miss, Alabama, Texas A&M, Tennessee, Texas, all have a shot in. And the SEC is playing really competitive football. There are teams in the SEC that are getting upset by unranked SEC teams. Ranked teams are kicking the crap out of other teams. And everyone else in the SEC is just playing their hearts out. And I love it. Even Florida's playing really good football right now. They almost beat Georgia with their third-string quarterback. Georgia is struggling to keep up the pace. And this is not the same Georgia Bulldogs team that I seen 3 years ago. The Georgia I remember is a team that's been dominating teams week in and week out, winning conference title games and national title games in playoff appearances. This is not the same Georgia team. This is not the Georgia team I remember. So what happened to the Georgia team that we all remember from time in and time out? I don't know. But they have to win out against Tennessee. Otherwise, they're out. We already know the contenders for the SEC title. Georgia, Alabama, Texas, Tennessee, Texas A&M, and Ole Miss. That's 6 teams. 6 teams that have a legit shot to make the college football playoffs. And the SEC title. But only 2 of those 6 teams can make it in. But if Georgia loses this game to Tennessee, it's over for Georgia. Goodbye playoffs and goodbye SEC title hopes. If they lose to Tennessee, if Georgia loses to Tennessee, it's over. Which means the SEC race just got a whole lot hotter. This is an open house conference, and I can't wait to see how this turns out. So college football fans, do me a favor. keep your eye on the Big Ten and SEC races. They're heating up.